Hey everyone, this is going to be a little different podcast because
We
we
fucked up.
we had a lot of issues with the video. It was causing us a lot of mental health issues. So serious. This is a very serious topic. Thank you. We do still have a video. So please watch and enjoy.
I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, it's 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything.
Wah. Bitch, I'm the baby.
Hello. I'm D.
I fucking get out. What's up, everybody? This is the Q-Tip. Nope. Nah, I think that's not what it's called. It's called this. That's what I meant to say was, this is Q-Tip and the short guy. I am the Kid Dre.
And I am D, aka
You fucking call it
Q-Tip.
I thought that's what you was gonna.
D
Nasty. There it is. Unfortunately, I got a nickname. It's the Kid Dre, and that's it. Or Dre, just Dre for short. Hello.
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 Hello. Can you hear me? You're supposed to finish.
We ain't doing
No,
that.
we ain't doing that.
Welcome back to Q-Tip and the Short Guy. I am D.
And I'm the Kid Dre.
And I'm glad that you started singing in the beginning, because that kind of sparked a little thing for me.
Segue.
Sparked a little song. So, if you don't know,
I feel like you're getting weirder and weirder the more we record.
if you don't know, my boy Kid Dre out here, he be putting out his own music, and a few days ago, I was listening to some of your music, and
Which one? Which one? Which song?
I
Or
was,
what album? Which mixtape? Because I got like 4 of them online.
well, you gotta help me out because I don't know. I just listen to them all. They're all good. So
You should go to my YouTube, check it out.
That was the plug right there. But I was listening to
Link in the bio.
a song called Prison, and you mentioned that you were a prisoner in your own mind. I was wondering if you can explain that.
Ooh,
What
that one is.
what was going on when you were writing that? Go ahead.
I feel like. Thank you, sir, for your permission to explain my song. I feel like
You're welcome.
It's
You
very.
did my permission.
Yeah, I did. It's very easy. If you listen to the words, I am in a prison in my own mind. I feel like I've been locked up for a long time. I need somebody to come and save me, right? So, it's just basically, for years, I want to say like 12, 13, actually, specifically 12. I feel like I have had issues that I've been dealing with mentally, and it's taken a lot for me to figure out how to live with it. I mean, you get more into the song, and I feel like the song explains it, but no, it's basically simply that I was diagnosed with depression when I was like 17, 18 years old, and anxiety. So like, that's what I mean. Like that I feel like sometimes things happen and I'm just in my head, and it's very hard for me to get out of my head. So like, once I think something, that's it. There's no talking me out of my own thoughts. It's kind of what that meant.
I think what you just said, you were trying to figure out how to live with it, is a very interesting point, because when a lot of us, or at least me, when I think of depression, I think of someone that's always sad and doesn't really want to get out, doesn't want to do anything, but you're functioning. You have a job. You go out and hang out with people. You have a child.
Yeah.
So I just think that's
Well, I mean, oddly, a lot of people with depression are the ones that you would find doing those things. It's very hard for us to do that, but like think someone like Robin Williams. Like his main function in life was making others happy, but that's because we just feel like we'll never be able to feel that way, or some people with depression feel like they'll never be able to feel that happiness, so the least they can do is make someone else feel happy.
That
which is crazy.
Yeah, I was gonna say that is crazy. Like that, like I can't.
I don't know.
That's appropriate. Let's just laugh.
Yeah, let's just laugh at craziness.
But like I can't feel this way, so maybe I should help other people feel that way. That's kind of weird to me that like they can't feel that way, but they want to make others feel that way.
I mean, there's people with depression who are also like, I'm miserable. I want you to be miserable too.
That's
so
true.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
a shitty way to think of it.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's just I don't know. I don't know, man. It's never the same situation for everyone.
That's true too. Yeah.
I feel like you have depression and you be slumped sometimes. Like you can't get up. You can't do and you just stay in bed all day. Like to the point sometimes that like you almost fucking piss yourself because like you don't want to get up so much to the point that even your bladder is telling you, man, I gotta pee. And you're like, no, I don't feel like moving. Like sometimes it's just like someone is sitting on you sometimes and you just don't want to move. And then the next day you'll just be like, I'm good. You know, I mean, that sounds like bipolar, but bipolar is, I feel like, but I don't know the difference 100%. I have a friend who went to school. So she explained that with bipolar, you don't need to be manic to the point where you're doing something crazy like getting out of bed, going in your car, and driving 20 hours, and then like that. There's like levels. Like so you can be manic and doing something simple like I think I'm gonna go in the kitchen and make a whole meal today. Like you know what I mean? But normally you wouldn't do that. Which I would hope you make a meal every day. But anyways, normally you wouldn't do that.
So like with manic bipolar, like what you said, it can be like making a whole bunch of brownies or something for people.
Yeah, or literally being like, I'm going to go to Florida today and getting a plane ticket and going to Florida.
Or like let me jump off this roof right now. It could get that extreme.
Yes. And honestly, I think Shameless, I don't know if you watched that.
I do not.
All right, well, in Shameless, I think that they did the extreme part. And one of the children, or one of the characters, is bipolar, and that's what he does. One day he gets in the car and he fucking takes off with his boyfriend's kid, and it's just like
I think media paints mental health in a negative light because like you have Shameless that did that. You have I was gonna say the Joker, but like the Joker is
which one?
The one that just came out. It was good.
I didn't watch it.
It was a good movie.
I did not watch. I don't want.
You're crazy.
Well, it's because he's supposed to be crazy, and I heard he's not crazy enough.
Crazy.
No, I heard that he's
not crazy enough for his
for the Joker character.
Oh,
Here's my thing. For some reason, all right, in Gotham, they tried to paint it like the Joker. Is it Gotham? I don't know. In something, pretty sure it's Gotham, that the Joker killed Batman's parents. That would mean that the Joker was older and went crazy sooner.
This Joker movie is not supposed to...
It's supposed to be a different Joker. There's only one Joker.
No, I understand that, but it's not supposed to fit in the DC. It's not supposed to be a part of like that timeline. But what I was trying to get at was like his situation was very extreme as well.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's also because...
But it has to be. Because it's a movie. Because if you had like a mild case of...
But what I want to say is that because of these movies, I feel like that paints a picture for society.
Yeah.
Like, I might be speaking for myself, but when I'm walking down the street sometimes and I see someone like talking to themselves or like doing something a little crazy, I'm like, maybe I should walk on the other side of the street.
that story about me and my friend walking home from work?
I think so, but you can say it again.
Like, so we live where we live. Like, he lived like a street away from my apartment, and it was like where my apartment was, like where we came from work was over in like a nicer area, college students.
Mm-hmm.
So the way that I would walk was through where the college students live, but the way he would walk is kind of over near where the not so college students lived. Let me put it this way: I don't know if
the
there's
normal people.
I don't know if there's like a 7-Eleven in every single state in the United States or all over the country, but it's near a 7-Eleven, and if anyone knows what that means, good. So we were walking, and he's like, "Let's go the way I go," and I was like, "All right." And then
So wait, hold on. I'm sorry. So a 7-Eleven is supposed to mean that it's a bad area?
yes,
Cool.
oh, I'm sorry.
Glad I clarified that for everyone.
7-Eleven means, you know how you go somewhere and there's like a crackhead that sparks up a conversation with you and won't let up.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, nah, man, I'm good. Nah, I'm all set. But they're just like, yeah, so the weather, and then and it's just like, dude, I said I don't want to talk to you. Actually, I didn't even say
That's
anything.
Most 7-Elevens.
That's my point. So there was a 7-Eleven, and he's like, let's go my way. And at the time, we were working overnight. So it was like 3 a.m, 4 a.m, and we're walking. And he's like, hey, I got a method for when I walk by myself. If somebody tries to come towards me, I'm gonna look him dead in the face and be like, son of a bitch, motherfucker. Like, just some random ass shit. So I was like, okay, dude, whatever, right? And then we start walking, and we get close to the 7-Eleven, and this lady's coming towards us. And in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna move over so this woman, you know, I would feel intimidated if I was walking towards 2 males at 4 a.m. by myself and I was a female, right? So I'm gonna move over. Nah, she came walking towards the middle of us, looked me dead in the eyes, and she's like, son of a bitch, motherfucker. And I was like, I just stood still, and I was like, yo, we're never fucking walking this way again. He's like, nah. I was like, yo, that shit works, bro. That shit scared the fuck out of me. So people talking to themselves on some caliber is scary as shit. And I'm gonna just say that because my mom is talking to herself, and it's not scary. It's just kind of like.
But I'm saying, like, because that's your mom. But if
that's not what I was gonna say. Is it's just kind of sad because it's like when she's in the old folks' home, they're gonna be like, your mom's talking to herself. Yeah, she's always done that, right? She has people in her head. I'm like, nah, she's been talking to herself since the day I was born.
This is what you say. Yeah, so she has a lot of friends in her head. But I try to tell her that they don't exist.
Look, mom, I'm sorry. But your friend doesn't exist. I was just like, listen, if you answer her, she'll stop talking. All she wants is somebody to talk to. So just talk to her. Just answer her questions that she's asking. That's all you gotta do. But this is not about my mother, who talks to herself. But yeah, anyways, as you were saying.
I feel like we just made fun of some schizophrenic people. I'm sorry, schizophrenics.
I feel like I made fun of my mom, and I feel even worse. I'm sorry, mother.
Sorry, mother. Yeah. So do you think that media has, well, I kind of said, like, I feel like media has hurt the view of mental health. What do you think? Has it helped?
Nah. So it's like one of those counterweight, not counterweight, like, I don't know, happy medium. It's a happy medium because they're bringing it to light, but at the same time, they're portraying it in such an extreme fashion that it's like if somebody doesn't have those symptoms, they're not automatically like there's something going on with me because I'm not doing that. So, like, for instance, before my friend explained to me that bipolar or manic depressant, was different levels of manic. You didn't need to necessarily be off the walls type shit. I was like, nah, I don't think I'm bipolar.
Or be like,
yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she was like, it's not 1 minute you're like this and the next minute you're like this. She's like, it could be days and days, and you could just simply do something like, you know, bake a whole batch of brownies for absolutely no reason. So before that, I was stuck on what I saw as bipolar and what I remember learning throughout my years of therapy. I've been since my brother died, which was when I was 12. So it's a very long time. But like, so I just based it off of that. And I feel like seeing that on TV, people will be like, no, I don't do that when I'm happy, so I'm fine. I don't have bipolar. But honestly, you won't know unless you talk to someone. Because if you feel that's the biggest thing. I feel like the biggest thing is like having someone to talk to with unbiased opinions is the only way to figure out what's going on in your head.
Yeah, I think that's where a lot of stigma comes in, and how to get rid of stigma is having that conversation with people, like getting to understand what they're going through and thing like that, because it's not always clear cut. There's a lot of different aspects and levels to it. I think that you brought up a good point with the media, like it's bringing a lot more awareness. I noticed that there's a lot more celebrities coming out and saying, hey, I have depression and bipolar, and a lot more people bringing awareness. Like I know Taraji P. Henson has her own little fundraising, I can't think of the word, but has her little thing that she's doing. And like Kanye West, we know, has multiple mental health issues. Kid Cudi, I think he
That's
also
my boy.
has.
Yeah, I would believe
has,
that shit. He's not
So-
my boy. I don't know him, but I like his music. I fuck with it.
but
But Kid Cudi, if you wanna be he's not listening to him. Never mind.
but yeah, that's just another person that I can think of off the top of my head that, and I think that because of that, a lot more people are saying, yeah, I identify.
Probably. Yeah.
I feel you, man.
But like, what I fucking hate, and this goes back to the whole Joker thing, because like I said, I've heard a lot about this movie. It's been out for a while. I'm not the biggest movie goer, but it was like, it's like when you see something is wrong with someone, like you don't need to know, but like if you see somebody and you could tell, okay, there's something going on with him. He's not like your average Joe. Why are we fucking with him? Like why can't we just leave people alone? Like why like I was a teenager once, and not once did I see a homeless person who was like talking to himself type shit and felt like I needed to like take the very minimum shit that he did have. Like why are you robbing fucking somebody like that? Why are we messing with people like that? Why when somebody whose status symbol is higher than ours, do we go on the internet to bash them for coming out with depression? Like they can't have depression just because they have money. That's what bothers me.
You know what's unfortunate about that is, I was going to say that's an extreme, but I've been to New York a few times, and I have spoken to homeless people in New York, and they told me that people just walk by them, spit on them.
Yep. Well, I used to when I was a child. I mean, like I want to say 6 to 11. Every Friday, I would go with my mom's friend to a soup kitchen and volunteer. I fed the homeless, and the amount of times I would see them, and I understand like maybe half of them were, you know, unfortunately they got intoxicated and fell around or whatever, but a lot of them had bruises on them. And like as I got older and like seen the way that teenage kids would poke at them, like when I was in downtown waiting for a bus from school or some shit, I'm like, nah, like there's people fucking with them. And it's like, yo, they're already down enough. Like,
Yeah.
like that's ridiculous to me. Like, come
Instead
on,
of
bro.
building each other up, we're tearing each other
That's
down.
what exactly.
We should be building each other up. We should be
And that's the problem, I think, is that we have, with all of like with everything in the world progressing, the one thing that needed to stay intact that has with regression. My words sometimes are not okay, but anyways,
It's okay.
But the one thing that needed to stay intact that has gotten the worse is our concern for humanity. Like it just went out the fucking window. Like I just like, let me put it this way. I usually keep my shit in check. I'm not on medication or anything, but there was one day at work that I just could not. I just couldn't. I don't know. Maybe I was in the middle of a disagreement with someone outside of work, or I don't know. I don't know I can't really remember, but I remember I text my boss, my manager, and I was like, I can't do this today. I really need to go home. I just wanted to let you know. And he texts back, meet me in the office. And in my head, I'm like, I got to explain myself, yada, yada, yada. He's probably going to bitching at me because I'm leaving because I'm a supervisor. So he's probably going to bitch at me or whatever, right? I get into the office and he's just like, I just want to make sure you're okay. And I was like, what? He's like, I want to make sure that when you leave here today, you get home safe, and then tomorrow you get to work if you come to work safe. I just want to make sure that you are okay. And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And it was, you can sense that, like, he was tearing up. I was tearing up because he was like, he cared, and he was like, you know, he was like, you should get help. If you feel so strongly that you are not happy and sometimes you don't feel like being alive, you should get help. I want you to get help because I want you to be here. I want you to be here for your child. So, like, I was like, oh shit, my boss cares about me. How many people, and this is not me promoting my job, but how many people can honestly go to their boss for something like that, or even have their boss, or have their boss be like, hey, I heard you say you're a little depressed. I want to make sure, like, so, like, that's what I mean is, like, where did we go from caring about people to caring about everything else, or just people don't even have any value? Like, people lost value, and I think that's a fucking terrible thing.
I think that as a culture, we always had built up shame towards people who have mental health issues.
Yeah.
And physical disabilities. If you think about, like, in our history, there was
fucking lobotomies and shit.
There was asylums, and they did terrible
and
things.
It was like the smallest stuff too. It wasn't even extreme things, like cleft lips. People with cleft lips would go into the hospital.
Mm-hmm. And from the moment that you are born, if they knew that you had some type of mental illness or physical disability, you were put away into an asylum and away from your family. And that's just insane to think about. And I feel like that has carried over, that mentality that people who have mental illness or physical disabilities, we're not talking about physical disabilities, but people who have mental illness are viewed in a negative light.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is also where some of the fear comes from when it comes to people who don't want to take meds or don't want to seek out help as much. But
yes.
Shout out to everyone else who has a good support system. Shout out to the supporters who are supporting people who have mental health issues, because, like you just heard, they do need support.
I mean, for me, like I said, I don't go to therapy. I don't take medication. And it's like a weird thing to say, but I think I've become complacent in my state. So I've learned how to tolerate my depression, where I will be in bed one of those days where I just wake up and I'm like, nah, today is not my day. But eventually I will tell myself to get up. Or because I have support systems, I will literally take my phone and reach out to someone who I know can get me out of my bed just by talking to me. They just know how to get me out of that state. So and the reason I feel like I don't go to therapy anymore, and I don't take medication, and is like I just feel like all the songs that I write, because like you said, you heard the song, and that's how you can identify that there's an issue. But it's like, I feel like who would I be if I didn't have that part of me?
The depression.
The
the music.
ailments. Oh, if I didn't have music, what would be my fucking purpose?
Yeah.
Like, I don't do anything else but fucking this, work, and music. Like, nothing. And chill with my cats. I shouldn't have mentioned that. Now I'm a loser. But
Should we mention how many cats you have?
I only have 2,
30.
dude. I have 2 cats.
32.
All right? 32.
He's a lonely, depressed cat dad. There you go.
I'm a fucking crazy dad. Crazy cat dad. But no, I just feel like I feel like it makes who I am, and because I'm able to manage my life with it, I don't need to first off put drugs in my body, or go to therapy and spend $50 a session, plus my insurance. But there are people who can't do that, and they don't have, like, I have like 3, 4. I have 4. No, I have 5. You know what? I'm gonna say this. I have like 5 or 6 people, that I could literally be like, I need you today, and they will be there for me. Like, they might not be able to come to my house. They might not be able to call me, but they can answer a text. You know what I mean? Like, just something. So I feel like because I have that, it's easier for me, but some people don't have that.
Yeah, you see a lot of cases where people self-medicate. They overdose on drugs. They drink alcohol. You see a lot of alcohol abuse due to depression, and it's unfortunate because it's a real thing, and people unfortunately die because of these things. It might be a little, I don't know if it's extreme because
because a lot of times damn, I forgot what they say, but there's like a saying that the end result to depression is often suicide.
Yeah.
So it's really not extreme, because no matter how you, like, if I'm trying to make myself better, so I'm taking like this type of drug.
Yeah, to numb the pain.
Like, I don't feel the pain anymore. Yeah, but you're addicted to heroin now. You know what I mean? That was supposed to be a joke, but it was really dark. Like, but that was really dark. Yeah, you gotta know my sense of humor. But yeah, I see what you're saying.
So how do you think depression affects your ideas of being a male? Does it affect your ideas of being a male or anything like that?
Only in the sense where it's like, I'm just extremely emotional, and a lot of females are not used to that. So I get called a bitch a lot.
You bitch.
You acting like a pussy. I don't. First of all, babies come out of vaginas. So,
well, you acting like a baby.
Babies come out of vaginas, right? Whole thing like opens up, heads come out.
We don't need the.
But my point is, a vagina be real tough. So how you gonna call somebody a pussy when vaginas can go through all that trauma? I'm just saying, let's not.
And he can't even go through that. So
that's what I'm just saying.
He ain't even on that level.
But you kick a man in the balls.
Well,
that's not even mine. I heard that shit.
But I heard if you punch a lady in the vagina, it hurts too. So
I feel like you punch somebody somewhere, it's gonna hurt. Like, hard enough.
You right.
I don't know. You punch a female in her titties and be hurting too.
Although I only know that because, like, when I was younger, back in the Boys and Girls Club days, I actually saw that. Like, a girl came out of the locker room crying because I got
punched in the pussy.
Yeah. I was like, ooh. I don't know how that feels, but I know how it feels when someone hits my balls. So
I would just be more like, I don't get it, cause like
I didn't get it.
But anyways,
you
want me to say what I was gonna say that was nasty? No, it wasn't that. It's not that nasty. I was just gonna say, like, I heard that if you punch a girl in the titties, it hurts. But I be experiencing females that want me to, like,
I feel like box their titties when we doing stuff. I like.
We're talking about mental health here.
I'm sorry. My bad.
Wrong talk.
But anyways, what the fuck was that?
Oh, okay.
I remember too. So yeah, I get called a bitch a lot because I am over emotional. I have my feelings be hurt quick. My feelings also be gone quick. I think I dwell a lot too, so like I be thinking about shit like that happened 2 years ago. I'll be like, yeah, but when we was 12 years old, you said, and like it don't matter anymore, but it still affects me. So yeah, I feel like that's the only thing that, as a male, I think affects like the way that I get looked at.
I think that's the thing with a lot of people. Like, a lot of people expect males to be like this strong figure that can't be emotional and can't cry, but I feel like this. I feel like
I've been
because
up
of this,
since like mad early, bro. I'm sorry.
me too.
I know.
I think I've been up a little longer than you. But I think because of this idea that men are supposed to be strong is the reason why we don't see as many males coming out saying I have depression, and we see more of them like turning towards the alcohol abuse and self-medicating and stuff like that, which is a shame because I feel like that's just a terrible myth and idea that people have on men, that they shouldn't be these emotional people, but men have feelings too.
Men have feelings too.
And they should be able to express their feelings. If they want to cry,
thank you.
They should cry.
Thank you.
And you should be there to support them.
I mean,
I
don't like
come lay on my shoulder.
But I don't like cry every day type shit. Like
no.
I'm just saying I do have emotions. Like that's not sadness is not the only human emotion that I feel. I feel happy and the other emotions. I don't know what they are, but I feel them. But we're not saying, oh, if you find you a man that cries every single day, you should be with him, because that would be fucking annoying. Just like if I was with a female who cried every single day, I'd be like, damn, bitch,
do you have any tears left? How
like,
are you still going?
Here's some water. Like, you might want to stay
You can put out the fires in Australia.
Wow, too fucking soon, dude. Too soon, dude.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, but that was fucking hilarious. That was better than my heroin joke. The koalas, man. You know how bad I want to just... So,
now you got me crying.
yeah,
man.
nah, I'm so sad about them koalas. Like, I'm an animal person.
The kangaroos.
Dude, man, they trying to do is hop without...
They can't hop. They can't hop out the
It's too
fires.
hot to hop. They be hopping into ash and it's burning. Oh, my boys, they don't know how lucky they are to be here. I feel like I'm crazy, which is great because we're talking about mental health. But I feel like I'm like one of them crazy pet owners that be like, look at this, check this out, look at these unfortunate animals that have to deal with this, and you get to just lay here all day.
Like
I do that with my cats, not my kid.
I have to change that all the time. That'd be sending me into a depression.
Oh yeah, the commercial where what's her name? Sarah McLachlan.
I think so.
That's her name, yeah. With it.
But,
Arms of
I'd be like,
an
quick,
angel.
real quick.
Nope. And the worst part is they play that at night. Night.
Yeah.
So like I be chilling in bed trying to fall
You know
asleep
what's
to
crazy?
some cartoons, and then boom. Now I'm gonna see that shit in my sleep.
And the thing about nighttime, I don't know if you experience this too. I feel like we're going down a rabbit hole, but it's okay right now.
Right. We'll bring it back because I have something else.
I have something else to ask, but that's when I feel like at night is when your thoughts run wild the most. I don't know if you experience this too.
If I could tell you maybe we'll have a separate episode of just my dreams, because my dreams be wild.
But like not when you're dreaming. Like sometimes when you wake up in the middle of the night, you're like, damn. That's when your deep thoughts happen. And you're like, damn, why did I do that? Oh my god.
Did you not hear me say I fucking dwell 24/7? I don't need nighttime for that. I don't need to be laying peacefully in my bed. I dwell all day.
At night. In the 2:00 in the morning, I'd be like,
yo, I could be mid-ass conversation. Like, right now, I'm thinking about the text that I sent before we started recording. Like, why the fuck did I say that?
So like, to get my mind off of it, I'd be like, yo, let me watch some TV. Turn on the TV, then you hear, in the arms of an angel. And I'm like, no, I don't need to
donate today, and it's like, take my money. No, I gotta turn that shit for real. I gotta turn that shit off because like it's too sad. It is too sad. Like they made it too sad. They could all they had to do was be like, hey man, there's homeless animals in shelters, and if you don't donate, they're gonna get euthanized. And I would have been like, oh yeah, nah, for sure, I will donate. Maybe I'll go adopt one.
Do you think so?
But then they showed the ones with the missing eyes and no paws, and they were hopping around with flies, and I'm like, oh my god, like it's too sad that I can't even watch it to know how to get the number to donate. Like I can't even see this no more. Yep. All right. I like how we at the same time. That means we both know we need to get back on this.
Yes,
this
we're getting
track.
We're getting back on track now. So, do you think that the idea, I don't know if you heard this phrase before, but strong black male, strong black female, strong black couple, do you think that has an effect on mental health? Like, look at that strong black couple. Look at that strong black male.
Not any motherfucker. Not in any other way than like I don't think it's about I don't think it's a race thing. I just think it in general.
Yeah.
I think.
But I hear it more like among the black community. Like,
yeah.
On Instagram,
no, I see. Yeah,
comments,
I see what you're saying. So like when you see like on Instagram, you see like a black couple, and that's because that's giving them like, oh, that's the expectation that I have to live by. Like they called us a strong black couple. Now we have to be a strong black couple, and if we break up, we failed. Or what if I can't do that? Blah blah. Like so I feel like in general, putting that pressure on someone definitely can affect, but I don't know to the sense where it can like drive someone into, well, you know what? Because you were actually just talking to me about what I feel like all the beehive is gonna get excited, but what Beyonce was saying about while she's here, she's thinking about what she has to do for her next concert. So it could do something like that, where it's like, okay, I'm in the moment right now. I'm at dinner with my wife, but I have to think about the next thing I have to do to make it like so we look like a power couple kind of shit. So I mean that could work your brain and your stress levels, but I don't unless you already have a mental health issue, I don't think it would make it worse. I don't think it would make you depressed. That's what I meant to say. I'm sorry.
Well, like,
I think if you have a mental health issue already, it will make it worse. That's what I was meant to say. I didn't say that.
I was gonna say I don't think mental health is just depression.
No, it's not. No, but I don't think it will cause it. Is what I'm saying. It would definitely stress you the fuck out though.
Right.
But I don't think it will cause it.
And I think that it sets an unrealistic expectation of how you should live your life and how things should be. Just because you see, oh, that's the strong male right there.
This one right here.
Then
I'm a strong, kind of black man.
This strong black male here. Then, like what you said, I have to maintain that, and if I don't, then I'm going to be looked at in a certain way.
I agree. I agree. I feel it puts too much pressure. Too much pressure is like just think about when you like fucking a can or some shit.
What?
If you put too much on a can, too much pressure. How about a balloon? You put too much pressure on a balloon, what happens, bro? It pops.
Yes.
God, can you let me get my fucking analogy out before you crucify me? Jesus Christ.
Well, the wording was bad.
It's like a can. Anyways,
we'll play it back later.
All right, but listen, fuck you, yeah. But you know what I was thinking, cause I think I mentioned it, but like I didn't elaborate about how having someone that's got unbiased opinions is important to get talk to like a therapist, because they don't know your past, so you all. And this is very important. What I'm saying is very important. It's a point. They do not know your past, so you can't go into therapy. If the first step to any problem, quote unquote problem, is admitting you have the problem, right? So, all right, I have depression. I'm going to go talk to somebody about it, right? Step number 1, cool, you figured it out. But if you get past step 1, you're at step 2, you're talking to somebody, but you're not telling them everything, it's not going to help. They don't know you. They don't know what you went through with your parents, and that might actually have a big impact on why you're going through what you're going through today. So like, if you have a mental health issue like depression or anxiety, and the reason I keep talking about that is because that's what pertains to me.
Yeah.
So if you have depression, let's say, and you want to talk to a therapist, that's great. Talk to a therapist. Find you a therapist that is, if you're a trans person, talk to somebody who is a trans therapy, or you're gay, that somebody like that. Or if you have depression, find somebody who specializes in depression. But that is not the only thing. You can't be like, okay, I found somebody who specializes in depression and it's not working. It's not working because you're not talking to them. So if you go to therapy, you need to be 100% committed to it. That is the only way it will work. If y'all, for whoever's not watching the YouTube, bro, I wish they would just go and at this, what are we, 32 minutes in, 39 minutes in? We're 39 minutes in and just look at what the fuck D is doing, and it is hilarious. But anyways.
What I was going to say is, like, I think what you were saying is you want a culturally competent therapist.
Yeah.
You want a therapist who understands where you are coming from, and what your past is, what your culture is, and where just everything.
Yeah.
Like, look at the broad picture.
Yeah, like I'm not saying go find somebody, like if you're a black man, go to a black man.
No, that's not what culturally competent means. You can go to a black, white,
who can understand it. For you.
Yeah. So like, if you are a black man, you can go to a white therapist, but you want that therapist to understand where you're coming from, like how you grew up, where you grew up. Just really understanding your culture. If you're Hispanic, how does your culture, Hispanic culture, shape how you grew up? Those kinds of things. You want your therapist to understand that, and that's the only way that effective therapy can happen. And I think that's where you were coming in and saying that you want to tell the therapist everything, because you want the therapist to understand where you're coming from as well.
Yep.
The therapist can only do so much.
They can't help you unless you're willing to be helped.
And the other thing is like, they're not going to assume, because when you assume,
you make an ass out of you with me. Yo, I don't know why I just did that shit. Oh, what time? Where we at?
40 something.
I said we keep going.
We talked about media and technology in our first podcast episode. If you guys haven't seen it yet, it's
what in the generations? Generation? Damn, I don't even know what I named it.
Episode 1 of Q-Tip and the Short Guy. What in the generation? Emphasis on the Z, because that's one of the generations. But anyway,
I got it.
We're going off the rabbit hole again. Technology has been, help me out here.
Progressing, getting better, more advanced. I don't know what you're doing, but you're dancing.
Yeah, so technology has been advancing, and because of that, I feel like a lot more younger kids are coming out and saying that they have more depression, more anxiety, and things like that. And I feel like that's because of media. Everything comes in an instant. So like, you're not allowed to make a mistake as a child. As soon as you do something, it goes around Snapchat, Instagram, all the
viral
social
video,
media, in a snap of a finger, because you're not allowed to make a mistake as a child. And I think that's a shame, because that's the only way that you learn.
Yeah.
And I also think that things go because of social media. Like things spread a lot faster as well. When I was in high school, I knew of a lot of people whose nudes got spread around. I also went to a very small high school, so that was also an adding cause to that as well. But I also remember even in like middle school, someone created a fake Facebook page and started bullying other people, like talking trash about everyone in the grade. So like I feel like because of media, it's made it a lot more easier for bullying to happen and things like that. And you see a lot more kids coming out and saying, I have depression, and you can kind of see why. So,
but at the same rate, like how I mentioned like that in a lot of movies and stuff. So we're talking now. I'm talking media entertainment wise right now, right? So they portray mental health issues as extremes, right? But talking social media, it's exaggerated. So instead, when somebody's a little sad, they'll say, like someone young, they'll say they're depressed, and I feel like that's the problem with the social media part, is like they will be like, oh, well, this person was crying and they were sad and they said they had depression, so maybe that's what's wrong with me. So I feel like that it's this super negative, like it's an issue.
it's a two-sided thing.
Yeah, it's a two-sided thing. That's
very
what I'm saying.
possible that could be the case, but I also see that.
Well, I've seen my son do it. That's where I get that from. A lot of the stuff that I say is because like I've seen it. So like I've seen him say that to his friend, like, "Oh, I'm depressed," and I'm like, I don't even know what that means.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things that we say that we're like, that's a little extreme.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like there's a two, like, yeah.
I feel like
they're saying stuff, but like, all right. So
in that case, that's their way of saying I'm sad.
But let me ask you this, and this is the most terrible thing that I think I have ever had to say out of my mouth. But I feel the main reason I say that is because I feel like when a 6-year-old is being bullied and their solution is to kill themselves, how do they know that is going to stop it? Like, because they've probably seen that somebody else did it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think 6-year-olds can comprehend suicide to get away from pain, like death in general. So it's like,
but they do know, like, I can run away from the problem.
Right. But I feel like the suicide part is extreme, and that is something that it's like they saw someone else who was being, because we put it online. Like people will be like, "Oh, that's so sad," share on Facebook. You know what I mean? So I feel like something like that is like we're sharing too much, and it's just making it like taking it to the extreme for some children who are self-diagnosing, like, "Oh, I'm depressed." You know what I mean? Or doing things like that shit breaks my heart when you see like a 6-year-old going. And I feel like no matter what we do, assholes will not learn from bullying. Like they still will. But like I'm sorry. I got into it with
but
that
I'm saying,
6-year-old
like,
killing himself thing.
Bullying has become worse.
Yeah, because it's like cyberbullying is fucked up. Because you can be anybody bullying. Like
you can be a whole catfish.
I'm not.
You had a whole catfish.
No, I didn't. No, I've never. And I'm pissed off about that. So if somebody wants to hit me up, catfish me, please. I want to know that somebody wants to waste all that time and energy making me believe that I'm talking to some supermodel. Like, damn, catfish me, please. Anyway, I wouldn't believe it because like I don't.
I was gonna say, I hope you're smart enough to believe it.
But nah, I had a friend. I'm not gonna talk about who the friends were, but they'll know who I'm talking about. Who created an account and was being very mean to their other friend on the account that they created. So it wasn't a catfish, like they wasn't trying to hook up. Well, actually I think it started as a catfish, but then eventually it turned into like them talking shit. So you could be anyone, even your best friend, and bully somebody online. So I agree. It's gotten worse. Yeah. That story was funny though. I wish I could tell the whole story, but it's not my story to tell. God damn.
All right, what is your takeaway?
My takeaway.
Yeah, what is your takeaway from this talk that we had here?
I don't even know how it got started. Oh, go to my personal YouTube channel to listen to my songs. I have Can't Keep Waiting Part 2, Freak Show, and Sing Through the Pain.
I didn't say promote yourself.
Oh, my bad. No, not for real though. I feel like main takeaway. If you get help, you need to put your all into it. If you're willing to get the help from a doctor or a therapist or your friends, you need to 100% commit and just commit. Yeah, that's it. That's my main take. That's my giveaway and my takeaway.
So what my takeaway is that we need to be more accepting and helpful towards those who need help.
Yeah.
We need to be there for people who need help and not just spit on them or continue to walk or be like, maybe that person's a little crazy. Maybe they will. Maybe they are crazy.
Maybe they are.
That's
fine.
your judgment. But some people just need a conversation.
Yeah, like, nah, we're not saying go save the fucking world.
No.
But don't be a douchebag.
All right. There you have it. There was your tip of your Q tip.
Dude, man, I'm so sick of these Q-tip puns and shit. It's not even fucking funny. And you know what's crazy? There's no fucking funny thing. Like, my name is so funny. Like, oh, the short guy. Like, you can't make it any funnier. Like,
Well, let's keep it short.
Fuck you. All right, thank you guys for listening to our episode on apparently mental health. And yeah, I still never know how to fucking end this shit.
That was it. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, share our podcast, YouTube video,
Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcast. There's something else. Anchor, by the way, is, I think you heard the ad. We gotta learn how to end this shit. I'm out. Bye.
I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, it's 5 on a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything.